Hey everybody, we have had some more clutches hatch out today, and that's given us a wonderful opportunity to talk to you about what we're having to do, or what we're choosing to do, to rotate our ducks from one area to another. I mentioned in another video that we noticed if we left the newly hatched ducklings inside of the nursery, as we like to call it, that they would romp all the way around the nursery and disturb other nests, and eventually the mom that was setting those eggs would get disturbed by the ducklings and eventually abandon it. So what we have decided to do is split the ducks into 4 different areas, and this is just what happens to be working for us right now. It's probably not the system we'll be doing for the rest of time, but right now we've got 4 different areas. These 2 are step 2 and 3, and we're about to move these ducks over into step 4 and make room for the new ducklings and bring them into this system. So come along for the ride. We'll show you each part of the step. So we're starting here so that we can make room in the brooder area for the newly hatched ducks. So what we've got to do is take these ducks, we're moving them out of this kind of middle area where they're too big for the brooder but not big enough to be in our outdoor area. This is obviously a sheltered carport, so we're going to move them from here to the outdoor area now. So we've just got to convince them into a corner so that we can put them into a cage for transport to the back of the property. So this is pretty simple. My wife came up with this idea. She's done something similar like this before, and I guess it kind of goes to the idea of don't overcomplicate things. The ducks are going to go to a corner. They're going to want to try to hide and get away. So what you'll see in just a second is an artificial corner that we've created, and we'll just get the ducks going in that direction and then close it off with a piece of plastic fencing, and then we'll just be able to pick them up from there. Alright, so we've got the stage 3 ducks, if you like, into a cage ready for transport to the back. But while we're here, we might as well take care of moving these guys out of the brooder box and into the next section where they can grow out a little bit more but still be in a protected area. So we're just going to do the same kind of thing. I'm going to use a piece of plastic out of the bottom of the same cage that was over here and keep these guys into a corner so I don't have to chase them around the pen, and just pick them up and put them over into their new area. So let's do that. So off camera was just a little utility bucket sitting on the outside of the brooder box. And in case you're wondering, we're using a large stock tank as our brooder box, and that works out really well for us because it has rounded edges, and so we don't have any losses for birds getting stuck in a corner and all the birds piling up on it. So we've had a lot better success with that, so that's what we're using. It's a hefty investment, but it saved us a lot of birds in the long run. So now we're going to take these guys and put them into the same area of the birds that we just caged to get ready to go outside. And I wanted to mention that, generally speaking, the birds will spend about 1 to 2 weeks inside of the brooder box, just enough to for us to make sure that we're not going to have any loss immediately, kind of thing. And for size, we want the birds to get up a little bit of size, because sometimes we'll have a couple different rounds of births, if you like, hatchings inside of this area. So we don't want to put little bitties inside of here and the big ones just trample them over. So then in here they'll spend about another 2 to 3 weeks before they're big enough that we can put them outside. We want to see them start to be feathering out really well and to have enough mass to them that they're not going to get out of the welded wire fence that we have in the back. So we'll let these guys into their new home. Now let's get these guys out of the cage. So this is stage 4 area. This is where from here either they get put as a part of the rotational grazing program or they get butchered. So this could be anywhere from another 2 to 4 weeks or even a little longer, just depending on the breed. You can see we've got chickens, turkeys, and other things all through here. So this is final stage of grow out area, the final stage of us hand feeding them, if you like. So we're going to let these guys out. And they've never been in a cage, so they're kind of confused here. Alright, and that's where they'll stay until it's time for butchering or time to put them out to pasture. So now, let's go all the way back to the very beginning. Let's go to the nursery and collect the new babies. Okay, so here we are. This is what we have now termed as the nursery. This was our coop for a couple years, and it's just been the safest place for us to let mom ducks lay eggs and keep everybody else away from them. Just to give you some perspective, on the other side of the fence here is the open area where a mom can get out to a little pond that we created and get a little wet, clean herself off, that kind of a thing. And then on the other side of it, that direction is where those that stage 4 area is. So it's all kind of a little compact system, if you like. So here we are, and there are ducklings everywhere right now. This is why I told you we do this, because these ducklings are disturbing everybody else's nests. So we need to get them up, get them out of here, go take them, put them in the brooder where we can take responsibility for them and allow the other moms to remain undisturbed. So I'm just going to start going after these ducklings, and you'll notice that mom is going to start attacking me. But for what it's worth, if this is something you're going to get into, their bill is not the part to worry about. On Muscovy ducks, when they start flapping wings and bringing up claws, that's when you watch out. So let's get to it. Alright, so setting up the camera and everything scared off mama duck. So all we're going to do is come in here and scoop these little guys and gals. There you go. And we're going to go around and get the rest of these, and we come back a couple days later and clean out the rest of the nest. It's possible for mom to hatch out 1 or 2 more, but it's very unlikely. So we come back in a couple days to clean out what's left. Alright, now typically on an average day we might just tip this bucket over and let them calmly walk out. But this is a J&J Acres video, so we have to count ducklings, right? Alright, so what do y'all think? This was 2 different nests. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 27 little ducklings. That's not bad. We usually tell people you can get about 12 to 14 per hatch. So that's pretty good right there. So there you go. That is how we take care of ducklings up to that point. How we rotate them around and why we take them away from moms right away. It always works out better in the end. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing that. I appreciate you putting up with any video quality issues. We're doing this right at sunset because it's just stinking hot. It's middle of summer in Mississippi. It was up in the 90s today, and doing this at this time of the day is the most palatable time to be doing it, especially when you got to get down on the ground in the nursery and chase little ducklings around. So thank you all so much for watching. If you've got any questions or comments about this, please leave them down below, and maybe we'll get your question featured in the next Q&A video. We'll see you next time.